We can use WWWDOT as an acronym to remember website evaluation criteria. It stands for who wrote this and what credentials do they have, why was it written, when was it written, does it help meet my needs, organization of the site, to-do list for the future. Now let's practice using WWWDOT on two different websites. The first website we're going to evaluate using WWWDOT is the National Geographic page on polar bears. When looking at this website, we need to first look for who wrote it. See if there is an individual author or if it's an organization. All the way down at the bottom of the website, we see that it is maintained by the National Geographic Society. We know that this organization is qualified to write on the subject of polar bears because they are often the publishers of nonfiction titles about animals. We should next consider why this article was written. When we look at the opening paragraph, we see that polar bears roam the Arctic ice sheets and swim in that region's coastal waters. Further down, the article explains that the bear's stark white coat provides camouflage in surrounding snow and ice. The fast facts for the polar bear show that it's a mammal that has a diet like a carnivore with an average lifespan in the wild of 25 to 30 years. So this website gives us facts about the polar bear. Its purpose is to inform us. We next need to consider when the information was written. Even though this particular article does not have its own publication date, we can take a look at the copyright information for the website as a whole. Down at the bottom, we see that the copyright is from 1996 to 2016. This tells us that the National Geographic Society maintains the information posted on this website. Now let's try to answer the question, does it help meet my needs? If my research needs are to write about polar bears, then this article gives me a lot of information, including their size, their weight, whether or not they have enemies, and what kind of environment polar bears need to survive. Based on the information it gives me, it would meet my needs if I am writing about polar bears. When considering the organization of a website, we can ask ourselves three basic questions. Can I find information easily? This National Geographic website on polar bears has paragraphs that are jam-packed with information, so yes, I can find information easily on this paragraph without having to hunt a whole lot. Can I move back and forth between pages easily? This question doesn't apply to this website since it only has the one-page article on polar bears. Can I read the information without a lot of difficulty? The answer to this question depends on the individual researcher. Some students can use articles like this one from the National Geographic, while others would be better off with a different source of online information. To-do list for the future is the last step in the WWWDOT website evaluation criteria. So if I were working on a polar bear project and I had looked at this website already, my to-do list would have the note that I need to go find a book in the Library Media Center about polar bears. If I write down the answers to all the WWWDOT questions, here's the results for the polar bear website. Who wrote this? The National Geographic Society. What credentials do they have to write on this topic? They also publish nonfiction books on animals. Why was it written? To inform the reader about polar bears. When was it written? The copyright is between 1996 and 2016, so the website is being currently maintained. Does it help meet my needs? Yes, it does if my research is about polar bears. Organization of the site is useful to me since it's on my reading level and I can find information easily. To-do list for the future would be to go find a book about polar bears. Alright, we've evaluated the polar bear website using the WWWDOT criteria, and it looks like a pretty good site for our research needs. Now let's take a look at another website. This is a website about Mankato, Minnesota. Let's first look at who wrote this website. Down towards the bottom of the page, we find the copyright is for someone called R. Bruce Farnsworth. When I click on that name, because it's a blue hyperlink, I get redirected to this problem error page, so I can't find out any more information about this author. I have no idea as to this person's credentials because there is no information on the website detailing the person's work or life. Let's try to find out why this website was written. The opening paragraph says that Mankato, Minnesota is truly a wonderland. Looking down further into the paragraph, we see, "We are real, we are warm, and we would love to see you. Mankato is the place to vacation. Sick of the cold? Come to Mankato." So the purpose for this website is to persuade us to visit Mankato, Minnesota. Let's now look at when the website was written. Going back down to the bottom of the page, it says the website is updated the first Monday of each month, but it has no year or month. So was it updated the first Monday of this month or last month? Which year are we talking about? This is very confusing. Not knowing when the information was last updated makes me question this website's accuracy and reliability as being a good source if my report is on Mankato, Minnesota. Now let's look at whether or not this meets my research needs. If I'm writing a report about Mankato, Minnesota, this second paragraph definitely gives me a lot of information. Mankato is the place to vacation. Sick of the cold? Come to Mankato. We are warm and cozy all through the year. Sick of the heat? No need to worry. The same hot springs that keep us warm all winter keeps Mount Croto ski area cold all year long. Wait a minute. Warm and cold? Back up here in the first paragraph, it says that the winter temperature in many Mankato neighborhoods has never dropped below a balmy 70 degrees. How is it that it can be 70 degrees in some neighborhoods, yet snow all year round for the ski area? That doesn't make sense and makes me question this website still further. Let's try evaluating the organization of this website. Can I find information easily? Yes, I can. There are several facts about Mankato, Minnesota. Can I move in between pages? Let's try some of the links in the middle of the page. If I click on the Great Mankato Pyramid, it takes me to a page about the pyramid. It says it's the first pyramid in the Western Hemisphere, and there's a spot to return to Mankato, Minnesota homepage, which is where I started. Let's try another link. When I go to the Mankato's riverfront and click on that, it directs me to another page about the riverfront and some of its features. Let's see if there's a place to return back to the main page. There is a link to go back. So the links are operational. Can I read the information without a lot of difficulty? Yes, I can, but I still have a lot of questions about Mankato, Minnesota. On my to-do list for the future, I would need to look up another website and maybe some books about Mankato to see if this information is even correct. When I write down the results of the WWWDOT evaluation for the Mankato website, here are the results. Who wrote this and what credentials do they have? R. Bruce Farnsworth is the author, but his qualifications are not listed on the website or known. Why was it written? To persuade people to visit Mankato as a vacation spot. When was it written? The website says it's updated on the first Monday of each month, but there's no year. Does it help meet my needs? Maybe if my research is about Mankato, but reading the information on this website makes me question the information it's giving me. because 70 degrees in some places and snow in other places of the same city still doesn't make much sense. Organization of the site. The organization is useful. I can navigate between the pages easily, there's a lot of information on the topic, and I can read it without much difficulty. To-do list for the future. I need to find books on another website about Mankato because I don't quite trust the information on this website. Overall, based on the WWWDOT evaluations of both websites, which one is a better source of information? The answer to this question does depend on the topic that is being studied. If my report is going to be about polar bears, then the National Geographic website is a good source of information. If my research topic is Mankato, Minnesota, I think I need to find another source and not use this one. The WWWDOT evaluation criteria has helped me decide which source of information is best depending on my research topic.